Hello and welcome to Proficiency in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Proficiency is included in virtually all stats that determine what a character can do and how likely they are to succeed at a given action. Weapon proficiency is included in attack bonuses, armor proficiency is used to calculate armor class, saving throw proficiencies are included when making saving throws, and so on. Typically, these stats and bonuses are all calculated as an ability modifier like strength or charisma, plus a proficiency bonus. Proficiency is a simple way of assessing a character's general level of training and aptitude at a given task, and unlike some other fantasy role-playing games you might be used to, in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, proficiency is not one flat bonus, but instead is broken into 5 ranks of increasing value: untrained, trained, expert, master, and legendary. So instead of having all characters who are proficient at a skill having the same proficiency bonus, those who are experts at the skill will have a higher bonus than those who are merely trained. By default, characters are considered untrained in all proficiencies unless a specific feature of the game grants them a higher rank. If you are untrained at a given task, then you do not receive any proficiency bonus at all, and therefore will only receive a bonus from the associated ability modifier. If your proficiency rank in a given task is trained or higher, then your proficiency bonus will be your character's level plus 2 if you're trained, level plus 4 if you're an expert, level plus 6 if you're a master, and level plus 8 if you have legendary proficiency. One important point to reinforce here is if you are untrained, then you do not add your level to the roll. You only add your level if you are at least trained, and therefore the base modifier for untrained checks will only be the associated ability modifier. For example, let's say a party of 3 5th level characters are attempting to climb a steep incline. The rogue is trained in athletics with a strength score of 12. The fighter has expert proficiency in athletics and a strength score of 16, and the wizard is untrained in athletics with a strength score of 8. Athletic skill modifiers are calculated as proficiency bonus plus strength modifier, and proficiency bonuses are calculated as 0 for untrained characters and level plus an increasing bonus for trained and higher. So the rogue would calculate their athletic skill bonus as 5 for their level, plus 2 for being trained, for a total proficiency bonus of plus 7. And then they would add their strength modifier to that of plus 1 for a final athletic skill bonus of plus 8. The fighter would calculate their proficiency bonus as 5 for their level, plus 4 for expert proficiency for a proficiency bonus of plus 9. And then add their strength modifier of plus 3 for a final athletics bonus of plus 12. And the poor wizard is untrained, so they would calculate their proficiency bonus as plus 0, and then apply their strength modifier of negative 1 for a final athletic skill modifier of negative 1. Proficiency ranks are gained and increased when gaining experience levels. At character creation, you will gain proficiency in a number of qualities. You will usually gain trained proficiency in at least one skill from your background. For example, acolytes start the game with training in religion and scribing lore, and barkeeps are trained in both diplomacy and alcohol lore. In addition, every class provides a sidebar that lists their starting proficiencies. For example, clerics begin the game as trained in perception. Then their saving throws, clerics are trained in fortitude and reflex and have expert proficiency in will. Next are skills. Clerics start the game as trained in religion and one other skill that's determined by the god they worship, and then they gain training in a number of skills of their choice equal to their intelligence modifier plus 2. Note that when a source provides trained proficiency in a skill you already have trained or better proficiency in, you are allowed to choose training in a different skill of your choice, with the exception of lore skills. If multiple sources provide training in the same lore skill, then you gain the training from the first source and may choose another lore skill for the other sources. For example, say you select Acolyte as your background and Cleric as your class. Both of these sources provide training in religion. Therefore, you would gain trained proficiency in religion from Acolyte and would be able to choose training in any other skill of your choice for Cleric. But if both sources provided training in a lore skill, then you would need to select a different lore skill. And note that this only applies when gaining trained proficiencies. If two different sources would increase the proficiency rank of the same skill to Expert, then you would not receive any additional benefits or be able to choose a different skill to increase to Expert. Each class's sidebar goes on to provide starting proficiencies for attacks, defenses, and spells. Clerics are trained with simple weapons and their deity's favored weapon. They are trained in unarmored defense by default, but may gain proficiency with armor from their chosen doctrine, and they have trained proficiency with divine spells. Characters may also gain trained proficiency from the feats they select, such as the armor proficiency, skill training, and weapon proficiency feats, and proficiency ranks are usually increased through leveling up. Each class provides a table that lays out level advancement, like this one for the Cleric. Here we see that Clerics receive skill increases at 3rd level and every odd level after that. When they reach each of these levels, the player may either gain trained proficiency in one skill that they're currently untrained in, or they may increase the proficiency rank of any skill by 1 step, but subject to a limit. At 3rd level and 5th levels, you can raise one skill from trained to Expert. At 7th, 9th, 11th, and 13th levels, you can increase the proficiency rank of one skill by 1 step to a maximum of Master Proficiency, and at 15th level this cap is removed and skills may have their proficiency ranks raised as high as Legendary. Many actions within the game require a minimum proficiency rank. For skills, these requirements are listed within the skill descriptions as well as on table 4.1 on page 235. Skills themselves are not typically gated behind a proficiency requirement, but different skill actions are. Using the Thievery skill as an example, anyone can use the Palm an Object in steal actions because they do not state that they require training. But only people with trained proficiency or better in Thievery can use the Disable a Device and Pick a Lock actions. This is further spelled out in the skill descriptions, where we see that it has a Thievery Trained Actions heading. Other actions throughout the game may also be restricted by proficiency rank. This is usually denoted with the rank, either Trained, Expert, Master, or Legendary, within parentheses. For example, Electric Latch Rune is a trap that can be placed on doors. Next to the Disable entry within its stat block, we see it says DC 20 Thievery and has Expert in parentheses. This means you must have at least Expert proficiency in Thievery to succeed at disabling this trap. Although the Disable a Device action is listed as requiring trained proficiency, this notation bumps that requirement up to Expert. That should give you a decent understanding of proficiency. If you have any questions about this video, please leave them in the comments below. And as always, I want to take just a brief moment to thank everybody out there who supports this channel, whether that be by clicking the like button, subscribing to the channel, subscribing to the Patreon, buying a super thanks. I greatly appreciate all of your support. And with that, thanks for watching, take care, and happy gaming.